Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. So this has become a weekly live stream now where we're talking about the Jurg's Cup, which I'm really enjoying because what it means is we get to meet new builders each week. So if you are new here and don't know about us, we've been doing this live stream for a couple of years now. And prior to that, we did it in a slightly different format where we spoke for a couple of hours at a time to different guitar builders, really like deep dive interviews with them. And what we've been doing in the last couple of years is just sort of informal chats. But with the Jurg's Cup, it's given us a chance to meet new people and go a bit more nerdy with them. So today I'm Daniel in the UK. I'm joined with Alan also in the UK, Mark, who you'd recognise below, who's over in America. And we've got Jonathan here as well. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi.
And Jonathan, are you based in Germany?
Yeah, I live in Germany.
So what I've been trying to ask, I know this maybe is a bit nerdy maybe in some ways, but I've been asking each person that's come on each week in a different place to describe where they are, to give us a sort of setting. What part of Germany are you in, and what's it like there?
It's called North Rhine-Westphalia, and I live in a small village. So basically, we have like 500 people living here at max. All old people mostly, but since the COVID pandemic, more younger people are moving back into the villages. So there is almost nothing here, no supermarket, nothing, just a church and people living here. But it's quite nice. So we have a lot of green, nature, open space, and that's where I have my workshop as well. So
amazing.
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
Amazing. And it's Huysmans Guitars. Is that correct pronunciation?
The last name is actually Huysmans. It's not German. I'm basically a native Belgian person, but I moved here 10 years ago because of my wife.
Fantastic. And were you a guitar builder prior to moving? Or was there something about being in a small village with nature around you that wanted to work with wood?
Actually, no. I was just playing guitar, or I've been playing guitar since I was 17. I'm now 39. Woohoo. Getting old. I started building guitars like 3-4 years ago. And it all started because of a kit that there was a Christmas gift from my wife. And that's when I got a bug and I was like, oh, it's going to be expensive now.
Hey, look, so I've just been working on some kits and I do enjoy kits. Do you remember what it was like, the first experience? Did you have specialist tools or were you able to just sort of assemble it with what you had?
I had no specialist tools at all. I just had my jigsaw and some old screwdrivers, and that was it. I even had to buy a soldering iron because I didn't have one.
Right.
So that was quite an experience.
And now jumping ahead, where do you work? Did you say you've got a workshop here?
Yeah, like my father-in-law, he has a pigeon hen, and it's up in the attic, and he cannot climb the ladder anymore. So I took over, or basically moved everything pigeon-related out of there and made it my workshop. So I'm now building guitars on the attic.
Amazing. I love the diversity of the different types of workshops people have. I think you're the first person that I've heard that's had like a pigeon-related attic workshop.
It's really diverse, right? Like we had like a caravan the other day, and it's just so cool that people can like convert anything into work. Anything can be a workshop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's how I came about that.
And so look, let's just go straight in. If you don't mind, I'll share the Jurg's Cup page and we can talk about your Jurg's Cup build, all about that, and then we can backtrack and talk more about how you got into guitar building, what it is you like about guitar building. We can talk about some tools as well. So let's get a bit nerdy if we want, but let me just share that first. For those of you that don't know about the Jurg's Cup, go and check out jurgscup.com for more info. I always butcher it each week when I talk about it, but essentially it's a community build-along competition that happens every year. And this year there's a theme to the build-along. Well, you don't have to follow the theme, but there's a theme of building a guitar inspired by your guitar hero in some way. And everyone that's building along is doing it really because they love building. It is a competition, but I don't think anyone's really that concerned about the competition. But anyone that's finished by the end of November or beginning of November even can enter the competition element. Anyone that isn't, we'll just keep building. And as a community, we'll support them and like comment on what they're building, encourage them, all of that. So tell us a bit about your guitar then, Jonathan. This is it.
Yeah, so after I saw the post from Huysmans Guitar that he was competing in the Jurg Cup, I was like, what is this about? So
right.
I checked the page and I was like, oh, cool. Then let's start building a guitar. And then I found out that the team was Guitar Heroes. And for me, I have plenty of guitar heroes, but I generally liked having an offset shape. So I was thinking, which people do I like that play an offset guitar? And I immediately had to think about Kurt Cobain with his Jaguar guitar, and also Jim Root from Slipknot, which has a Jazzmaster. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna build a Jazzmaster, which is an offset, and then I'm gonna put in my own twist. So that's how I came on this build. I've been following Milehouse Studios also for a while, and he does some crazy things there. I also like his humor, but that's something very personal. But yeah, he's doing some really nice things with his curves and all of those other things. And I was also inspired by Kiesel. So I wanted to take some elements from that into my build as well.
So I love that you're not just doing a Guitar Hero where you're taking a guitar and doing a replica of it. You're taking it for inspiration.
Yeah,
and not just guitar players, but builders as well, which is cool.
Yeah, exactly. I also wanted to push myself with this build, so I've made this one here, which is based on a Firebird, and I've made a Telecaster, which is quite simple, let's say, to build. It's not. I mean, it's still a feat if you can build a guitar, but in terms of guitar building and what is possible, the Telecaster guitar is the easiest shape to do. So I wanted to push myself a bit more, and also get some curves in, some special things like a nice glue on top with an open pore finish. And I also wanted to use some different kinds of wood, which you can see here. It's black limba, which I always liked. It's very nice natural wood, and it has an ash top with a very nice figure in it. So that was perfect for my open pore finish, which I wanted to achieve. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to have. Also with the curve revealing the wood underneath. So not only basically showing the ash, but also showing a little bit of the black limba from the bottom. That was one of my ideas, and it turned out quite okay. It's not 100% perfect, not 100% what I had in my head, but that's what guitar building is: adapting and basically making it work. So you can at least achieve the 80% that you have planned before you even start shaping the guitar into wood, the wood into the guitar. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I'll put a link to the Jurg's Cut page that you're on in the description, and also your Instagram, because I noticed on Instagram you've got a few more pictures of it. I love that little bit that's revealed there. And I've said this before, but in case people haven't heard me, because I might not have said it for ages, when I first saw like a natural wood finish guitar, it was just on the general things in my local music shop, and they were all quite boring and they just didn't appeal to me. But when you see like luthiers and boutique builders and people making them at home, the choices of woods are so much more interesting. Maybe just in general, woods that are available are more interesting now, but I just find it so much more appealing. And the fretboard as well, it's got such a beautiful sort of pattern to it.
Yeah, I saw that on a local shop here on the website, and I was debating on putting on olive oil or olive wood or a black limba, but because I had a black limba body, I also wanted a black limba fretboard because it fitted better, and it looks insane. It looks insane in person. It's a fretboard that I've never seen on any guitars that you go and look at in a shop. So it's very unique. It's really my guitar, and that's what I like
Yeah.
about it.
Like I love this orangey bit that goes down the back here, and how it's mirrored slightly on the front, on the fretboard
Oh
there.
yeah, look at that.
That's a coincidence.
Yeah, but it looks very cool. It looks cool. It looks very deliberate. Yeah, I think that's, using these sort of woods to me makes it much more unique and much more interesting. I was randomly talking to someone the other day, and I mentioned I make guitars because he didn't know that, and he was talking about how he likes to go and peruse the local guitar shops and asked me if I had a favorite guitar, and I said it's really hard because I don't really like. I think by favorite guitar he meant, do I like Strats? Do I like Les Pauls? Maybe he meant, do I like a particular year of them? But the things I like are just these one-off boutique builds. They're way more interesting. So tell us
So you
about.
mentioned that it was a bit heavier than you wanted. How much does it weigh?
4.2 kilograms. I was aiming for 3.8. So it's a bit on the heavy side. But it has a lot of sustain. So it's basically a Les Paul in Jazzmaster shape.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's something I thought of afterwards. When I glued on the top, I was like, the body feels quite heavy. I should have done a weight relief, but now it's too late. So then I was hoping to get a lot of weight off the guitar by doing the curves, the contours, and the electronics cavity. But still, it turned out heavier than I initially planned.
The only thing that means is you need to build another one now.
Exactly.
So tell us about the pickup choices, because so I also link your YouTube channel, and on your YouTube channel you play stuff that's like quite aggressive, heavy. I would say, is that right?
Yeah, I'm quite of a metal dude, let's say. Yeah, the pickup choices. I really wanted a humbucker in the bridge because, my music choices. It needs to chug. If you go into terms of Ola, it has to have that punch.
Yeah.
But I also liked to have the sparkly clean tone, and I didn't want to have a single coil, so I put in a P90 in the neck to have that sparkly clean tone for the more calm parts or for the intro and stuff like that. So that's what I came up with, and this time I didn't want to get some pickups from Wilkinson or something. Not that they're bad; they're quite good for the price, but I wanted to use some high-end components from the well-known brands. So in the neck there is a Goto pickup, a P90, and in the bridge there is my favorite humbucker, which is the Nazgul from Seymour Duncan, which has a lot of bite. So that's what I came up with in the end. I didn't want a tone knob. I don't use a tone knob, so it's out. It's just a 3-way switch and a volume knob, and that's it.
Nice. I once put a Nazgul in a Fender Strat. I actually still have that Fender Strat. So yeah, they're rad pickups, and you can coil split them too. So if you wanted to kind of like tone down, the output, you can actually kind of coil split them. Yeah, rad pickups. Good choices.
So remind me, I've heard of the Nazgul before. Do you know, is it like a signature pickup? Was it made for someone in particular?
No, it's just a standard high output pickup. Made for it's used a lot in metal guitars or metal directed guitars as an alternative for bare knuckle. No?
Yeah, the Nazgul is the bridge pickup, but then Seymour Duncan makes a complementary neck pickup too for the Nazgul called the
Sentient.
Yeah.
I had both of them once in an Ibanez guitar where I switched the pickups, and they were both they were great. They sounded great, but I still wanted the single coil vibe from the P90.
For sure.
It's a bit on the darker side, the Sentient pickup.
Yeah.
Hey, so one of the things I'm most interested in is the color choice, because I can see with your Firebird type one that's behind you as well, that's the same color.
Yeah, I kind of like green guitars. So there is 2 little green guitars in the shops. If you go to a shop or you look at a website, you see black, red, blue, or white. Even mostly, if you're right-handed, you have more choices. But if you're left-handed, it's those 4 colors, and that's it. And I'm like, why? There is way more interesting colors than just black, red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that brings up a question. Are you right or left-handed? Because I can see one guitar looks right-handed and one guitar looks left-handed.
I'm ambidextrous. I can play both-handed.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, that didn't came naturally. So basically, 2 years ago, I had some troubles in my left hand, and I didn't want to quit guitar. So I switched. I relearned guitar left-handed. I'm actually a natural lefty, but I relearned guitar left-handed. I couldn't fret, but I could pick. So that was my idea to keep going. And then I did that for a year, but now my hands are better, so I switched back to right-handed so I can really get into it again. And that is also one of the reasons I started building guitars, because last year I was at Guitar Summit in Mannheim, and there was not a single left-handed guitar available on any booth. So I could look at all those pretty guitars, but I couldn't play them. I was like really pissed off. So I came home, I ordered wood, and I started building the Firebirds.
Amazing.
That's basically.
We go to. You'll be lucky if there's 1 or 2 lefties, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I was told by Stuart from SBC Guitars and Lewis from LT Guitars, the first time I ever went to a show, they said, always bring a left-handed guitar because it will sell. Because people are there looking for boutique cool stuff, and they never find left-handed ones.
Yeah.
So I made a left-handed one and took it. No one played it. So I don't know what that says about my builds. There you go. It was also one of my, I think, coolest looking guitars I've ever made as well. But it was an absolute nightmare to make. We've talked about this before, Jonathan. I find that when I'm working left-handed, I keep making mistakes. So, for example, and this is the same sort of do a reverse headstock. I get my logo. I've done my logo upside down multiple times. I haven't made that many left-handed guitars, but it feels like in the majority of them I've put the logo on wrong. I also once put the fret markers on the side dots on the wrong side. I'm such an idiot.
There is some caveats while building left-handed guitars here.
I don't even know how you'd begin. Like I couldn't even imagine building a left-handed guitar. Like it's just it's too far out. I couldn't even begin to understand how to do that. You guys are good.
It's quite simple actually. You basically take your template, flip it over. That's it. I don't understand why the bigger companies don't produce more left-handed guitars, because they all have these fancy CNCs. They just have to mirror the image and it's done. I don't get it.
It's numbers, isn't it? I mean, there's so many. A lot of lefties could play right-handed because there were no left-handed guitars around, and the majority are right-handed. It's just down to money.
Yeah.
Is it worth setting up to make a few lefties when you're making a load of right-hand ones?
I think there might be a lot of like retooling involved, even with a CNC. CNCs require jigs just as like normal Lutheran work, and you have to retool those jigs. You have to retool a lot of kind of like templates and placeholders. I'm pretty sure it's pricey to begin with, and if you do that for every single one of your models, then that gets even more expensive.
Okay.
Yeah. When you've got to create a whole new model, new path for the tools and everything, it's not. Yeah, if you're using a template and you're at home with a palm router, it's fine. But the actual CNC, it's a lot more involved.
Yeah, I'd like. You can go back. We've got a stream we did a couple of months ago, I guess, if you look back, where we focused on building left-handed guitars. My other issue was working out how to do the wiring, because there's a discrepancy. Some companies do standard wiring, some people do reverse the wiring. But yeah, I've had some friends when I was younger who were left-handed that learnt to play right-handed because that's all they could get.
It's the same. Same for me. I bought a guitar and I saw everyone was playing right-handed, and that's what I did. I never thought about it. It was like, this is the way a guitar should be played.
Yeah.
And then 6 or 7 years ago, someone told me there's left-handed guitars. And I was like, why do you tell me now?
Right. It's funny. I did something for Mikey from Skindred, who's left-handed, and he told me that he's actually right-handed for most things, but for some reason he learned to play guitar left-handed, and he always struggled to find cool guitars that were left-handed. And I know he's now got signature models, which I assume come in left-handed, but now you've said it, I've never looked it up. Maybe they only come in right-handed versions. It's harder to sell the left-handed. Hey, can we backtrack a bit, Jonathan? So we talked about, you did a kit guitar ages ago. You've just made these two that you've shown us, and the one behind you, I presume, is one of yours.
Yeah.
What was your journey from the kit to making the actual guitar? What was your step? What made you do that?
Yeah, basically, I saw a guy promoting templates, and like, he can build guitars without thinking. Basically, it's foolproof. If you use my templates, it's foolproof. You can start building guitars. So I asked my wife for a hand router for my birthday, and I was like, I'm gonna try this as well, which went horribly wrong. I think I ruined 5 body blanks before I even got to the shape that I wanted to. And in that process, I also ruined 4 or 5 templates. And then it died down a bit because I have 2 small kids and I had absolutely no time.
Yeah.
And then Guitar Summit came, and I was like, now I need to start properly, otherwise it's not happening. And yeah, then now I made 3 guitars apart from the kit, and there will be more coming because now I cannot stop anymore.
Hey, so I mean, I'm sure lots of people manage to make guitars and play guitars, but how do you balance the two? Because it was 7 years ago, I decided I'm going to spend a certain amount of time every day playing to improve my playing. And then I just decided, actually, I'd rather spend that time making than playing.
Yeah, that's becoming difficult. I used to play every day, but when I'm building a guitar, I don't play at all. I spend all of my free time on my workshop making this guitar, building it so I can play it afterwards.
Yeah.
And then I take a small break so I can actually enjoy what I made. And then I start planning another guitar, and then the cycle repeats.
So what's the next guitar going to be then?
I'm planning a headless guitar. Something's in line of a Strandberg. Because I want to try that as well. It's something completely different. And it's small and compact and travel worthy.
I have a prediction.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Okay. In 100 years, all guitars will be headless.
I don't know what to say to that, Mark. Why
I keep thinking about, like, I know I'm kind of like we're gonna nerd out here, right? Because I'm a child of science fiction, and I keep thinking about, like, space travel. I keep thinking about how precise NASA is when they're weighing everything that must go on these rockets. They do the same thing with 747s, right? You gotta know the exact weight of everything. And I think when space travel happens, and when colonization happens, and when musicians want to take instruments, weight is important. I think right now headless guitars have a foothold on the market, but they're not completely saturating the market. I think in 100 years, all guitars will be headless.
I have a counter prediction. I predict that in 100 years, all guitars will still look like Tellys and Strats and be made as they were in the 50s, and people will still say that was
what
the
a
best
sad
guitar
world.
Yeah.
Maybe
I love
not.
the idea. No, I think if we're colonizing the moon and other places, we'll be 3D printing our guitars up there.
Exactly, and they will not have headstocks. It's going to cost too much in material and filament. I mean, every little bit of material needs to come from Earth, right? Unless we're mining things off-world. All guitars will be headless in 100 years.
And foldable.
Right.
But will they be fan frets?
Oh god.
I'm already like over fan frets. I've been over it for a couple of years already. I think fan frets were super useful back in the day, right? But now that we can actually buy custom guitar string sets, like we can customize all our gauges. There's absolutely no need for fan frets because you can like get thicker gauges for the top strings. You can retune however you like, and everything just works out with the tension and with the feel. Otherwise, I mean, I don't see a point to fan frets anymore.
That's a super interesting point.
I think fan fretted guitars will be more popular with the extended range, but not for a standard 6-string. Like 8 and above. 7 is okay with normal frets, but if you go to an 8 with normal straight frets, that feels like playing a skateboard. That's not fun anymore. But if you have fan frets, it's way more ergonomical and it feels better.
I think you're right about the 8-string because once you get that long, that trying to get that high E, it kind of makes sense there. But the big trend in the last few years hasn't really been like multi-string extended range. It's been baritone guitars, which are all 6 strings, because you can get the same low end, the same chug, the same pick attack with baritones, and then you string it however you like, basically.
That's true.
So Toby, that I make the 1 strings with, I went to see his band earlier this year, and he was on a set that had I think 4 other bands, and the other bands were all quite similar. So his band are quite heavy, but the other bands, every single guitar, I think even one of the basses, had fan frets. They were all extended range, so almost everything was 7-string. It just seemed like that was the thing that they all had in that genre. All the bands had some sort of recorded track that played along with them, some sort of computerized stuff that was going on in the background as well. And it just felt like as the next band came out, you could predict there was going to be another 7-string fan fret, at least 1 guitar in the set. Yeah, it was interesting. So I think there must be whole genres of movement or sort of music built around those guitars now.
Yeah, maybe. But I play the 6-string bad enough. Never known. Don't want to add any more complication to my bad playing.
You need the electric backing stuff, recorded backing stuff to conceal my playing, maybe.
Yeah.
So Jonathan, you mentioned the first tool you got was that handheld router for using the template stuff. I've been aware recently when I was working somewhere and there were some other people there that hadn't used routers before, and it reminded me of when I first used them, watching them, because they didn't have any instruction on how to do it, and they were making the same mistakes I made. And I just forgot how something that I take for granted now has that learning curve. And when you talked about damaging or getting through a few blanks and templates, it reminded me of that as well. So what were the other tools that you remember getting early on that were quite important for you?
Some fret slotting saws, so I could actually use the fret slots, and I immediately bought some of those stainless steel fret slot markers, so you could basically put on the fretboard and you don't have to measure every fret where it needs to go and stuff like that. So that was one of the bigger investments, like specialized tools I did immediately, and it's already proven useful. So I already immediately bought some different scale lengths, like 27, 28 for the metal stuff, and also the Gibson scale, Fender scale for the normal stuff. That was a good investment. And that's basically what I started with. The last tools I've invested in is now a thickness planer, so I can actually buy raw wood and do everything myself, gluing up and everything myself, and a bandsaw, because I did everything until this build with a jigsaw. And I was like, now it's time. I need something better, something more precise.
Yeah, I remember when we used to do those long interviews, I always asked people about their tools. Bandsaws, people often talk about being important. I remember getting mine quite early on, and I used it so much.
I wanted to avoid it for as long as possible because it's a tool where you basically just only cut the wood and that's it. So it has no other purpose than doing that. And if I buy a tool, I really want it to have more than one purpose in the entire build, because it's an investment, of course.
Yeah.
But now I was like, no, I need to have a bandsaw because I always cut crooked edges. It's never correct, or there is like tear out and all of the other things which I don't want anymore. So that's why
problem with the jigsaw, isn't it? Because the blade's doing that all
Yeah.
the time. So you end up cutting further away, and then the router has got more work to do. Yeah, bandsaws makes all the difference.
I always thought my jigsaws were just cheap and a bit rubbish, and that's why they're always doing that. But again, recently I used some quite good ones, and yeah, it's just me. Totally not the jigsaw.
It's just a tool. It's just a tool. It also goes much quicker when you have a bandsaw. I was like cutting a neck blank with a jigsaw. It took me like 15 minutes. With the bandsaw, it's like 2 and it's done. I was like, what a revelation!
Yeah.
Why didn't I buy this in the beginning? Why didn't I invest it in a bandsaw before I bought a thickness planer, for example? But yeah, that's how you learn. And then the shopping list went on and on and on. I have some more files, some more this, some more that, and then I was like, okay, now I really need to keep building guitars because I invested more money in tools than I would have spent in 2 or 3 guitars that I would have bought in the shop.
Yeah, right.
Guilty. I've still got a shopping list.
It never ends.
I've got a drum sander on the top of my list at the moment.
Yeah. I found one of the best things from my wallet was to unsubscribe from Stu Mac's mailing list. That's helped me very much this last year.
Yeah, I got their membership so I could get slightly cheaper packet, free postage.
Yeah, the problem with their membership that I found is free postage meant I kept ordering things, and also their membership, they just kept saying, oh, this month members get this discounted, or members get an extra discount if you order this extra amount of stuff. It was just constant.
I have the same problem with Crimson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, tools, it never ends.
So out of interest, so where you live, how easy is it to access wood? I guess you just order wood from anywhere and it appears wherever you live in general. But some builders we meet tend to try and find things that are local to them as well.
There is absolutely no chance to get local wood here. There is some shops where you can get some wood, but it's not for building guitars. It's basically for building furniture. And I don't want to have an oak slab around my neck because that's going to be even more heavy than that one. So
yeah,
then I need a card or something to put under there, or a guitar on wheels. Maybe that's a new thing. Who knows? But no, I try to order from smaller German shops, but it's impossible to get something locally.
Yeah, I don't think I used any German suppliers. But for some reason, it's cheaper to get wood from Portugal than it is 30 miles up the road from me. Which is crazy.
Wow.
That's sad.
It is.
Hey, look, we all do it. I in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, how is this affecting the planet? But at the same time, it's just me doing it every now and then. Like I'm lucky. I found a luthier that's not luthier supplies that's not too far away. David Dyke's luthiers, and I don't know where they get all their wood from, but it's clearly not local. It's shipped from everywhere. But they've just got a massive store, and some of it's been there for ages, and it just feels very different because it feels like a small personal experience when you go to them to buy your wood.
Yeah, what I've been thinking of is instead of ordering like one piece at a time, if I basically arrange my workshop a bit more better, is to basically drive up there to that guy that I ordered wood from all the time, and pick my pieces, put it in the trunk of my car, and drive home. I think that's more ecological than what I'm doing now, basically.
We had Kent from Tunguska Guitars on a few months ago, and many years ago I watched one of his videos where it was part of a series where he was building a guitar. But in one of the videos, he basically went on a road trip and just sourced loads of wood and loaded up his sort of van with all this wood, drove it back home. I remember thinking that looked like such a cool thing to do. Like, I don't really want to go on holiday to a beach or by a pool. I want to go and buy wood like that. It looks amazing.
Well, Owen's just done a road trip, hasn't he? He went down to Lake Como and then came back with the car full of wood. Don't know what he does with it all because he only builds one guitar a year.
Well, it's the potential of being there.
But we could always take a road trip to Ireland because Owen's got plenty of wood to pass on.
So, what I'm interested in as well is it sounds like you've come to a point in building where YouTube is just this massive resource, and I wondered if you use it much. As you mentioned Paul from Milehouse, and you mentioned Nissa Guitars. You saw his post about the Jurg's Cup. So, had you come across him through YouTube or some other social media?
Through Instagram. So I basically, when I started looking into building guitars, I bought some of those classic books that everyone in Germany has, and started looking into that. But I was like, I'm more of a video learning kind of guy, basically my generation, I think. And then I started looking at Instagram, and there was loads of information and loads of people building guitars, also kit guitars. So now my Instagram feed is full of luthier stuff or people doing fret and dressing and all of those things. My wife always has to laugh when she looks at my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube was a big resource for me. Looking at how smaller luthiers build guitars, but also people who are just starting out and not making the same mistakes that they do. I still look at guitar building videos on a daily basis. It's basically my doom scrolling, let's say, but instead of looking at it for 2 minutes, I keep staring at it for 3 hours. Yeah, that's basically my guilty pleasure.
I think that's a guilty pleasure we can all connect to. Yeah, one of the things like this Jurg's Cup, one of the things about the Jurg's Cup that I always love is the community that builds up around people talking about guitars. It's been great this year. So if people don't know, if you haven't seen it, go and check out the Jurg's Cup Facebook group. Again, I've linked that below in the description. But that just seems like a really good place for people to show what they're doing, talk about what they're doing, learn from each other. Yeah, I find YouTube is such a resource for so many things, but I personally, I've kind of fallen out of love of watching it because I think I just became so oversaturated with guitars. But what I'm finding about the Jurg's Cup is seeing lots of people building these interesting guitars has sort of got me back into it. But for me, it is like you. I think Instagram I find more interesting. I find the short little videos on there much more entertaining. And I feel you can learn so you don't need someone like this is hypocritical because I make long videos where I explain how to do things. But sometimes you don't need someone doing that. I appreciate sometimes if you're a real beginner, a really long step-by-step video is great. But if you've got a bit of experience, you can watch someone doing it and you can pick up what they're doing quite quickly and see the nuances of what they've done, which is different to what you're doing and how you might incorporate that. And that's what I love.
I think you're right, Daniel. I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Like I kind of stopped watching guitar building videos on YouTube, but I still need the inspiration. Like inspiration is like the biggest thing I need because I'm totally uninspired. And it's those short, quick ones where you get nicely inspired, you know, a quick build or a quick walkthrough or a quick review. I think that's what I need these days. It's just inspiration.
Yeah, Barlow Guitars on Instagram. are really good.
Yeah, those guitars
You feel inadequate, but they're very good.
those guitars are also masterpieces.
Yeah.
They are a piece of art, every single one. But that's one of the things I really liked about the Jurg's Cup. When didn't have Facebook anymore, but I just created Facebook just to join the Facebook group. And everyone is posting their builds, and some of them are also posting videos on their YouTube channel or their process entirely. And I've learned so much from those videos. I can basically recommend everyone who is interested in building guitars just to join the page, go look at those videos, because all of the information is there. It's super dense. All of the information is there. You don't need to browse YouTube or search. Just look at a series of of those builders building a guitar, and you have all the information you need. It's insane.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's brilliant. My problem has been I've gone back on Facebook mainly for the Jurg's Cup, but also for some of the other work I do, some of the education work I do. I've been promoting that through a certain types of education groups which are really active on Facebook. So that's brilliant. So I'm on every day now on Facebook looking at Jurg's Cup and looking at that. But slowly Facebook has started giving me other things. And I noticed today that I'd spent like half an hour just looking at politics stuff. And I was like, found the button to reduce politics in my feed. What's that doing there? I want guitars and a bit of that education stuff. Yeah, terrible. It does, it's insidious. But those
creeps in.
Yeah. But that Jurg's Cup group just seems really wholesome and friendly. So I love it.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, look, we normally go for about 45 minutes, but what I'd love to do, if you don't mind, talking about Jonathan's green guitars, Mark off air showed us a green guitar earlier. It was green, wasn't it? I'm not misremembering. When Jonathan said there aren't that many green guitars, I thought, I've already seen one today.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know. Green's making a comeback. Like Gibson recently in the last few months released their British Racing Green series, and those things sold out. Like everybody wanted one of those British Racing Green Gibsons. Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but the green guitar. So this is the green. This is the mule. So all my crazy experiments, the poor the mule, he gets all the brunt of all the crazy experiments. So like, for example, that's my resin fretboard with resin frets. It works. It works perfectly. Lots of experiments like, my laser engraved tattoo sleeve. That's like a dragon or something. I don't remember. Tons of the crazy stuff with like wiring and electronics. But this is the newest thing, which is my sideways pickup. So what I did was I took the coils of a humbucker and I flipped them 90 degrees so that the pole pieces are running parallel with the strings. And it's got this really cool steampunk like industrial look where the exposed copper wire is on top and the magnets in the middle. And it looks sick as anything, man. It just looks so cool. And so like my whole idea was like, we need a new design vocabulary because guitars have been stuck in this kind of same vocabulary. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I collect vintage guitars. But like for me, for being inspired and for building, I needed a new design vocabulary. And I think a guitar with two of these in them would look so cool.
I mean, it does look cool. I can't wait to see your videos and hear the demos of them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. And anything that looks different. Like Jonathan, I think your Jurg's Cup guitar doesn't feel like a guitar I've seen before. It feels a bit different to things, which I love. It's like what was it? I haven't watched the full video, but Anderton's put up a video about S-type guitars and equivalents. And when I look at S-type guitars now, even when they're different from a Strat, they're not different from other. There's too many S-type guitars out there to be able to do something that doesn't just look a bit like a bit of this and a bit of that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, Bill's desperate for a demo of your guitar, Mark, but I don't know if you can plug it.
Yeah, my video will come out like probably next week.
Right, we'll have to wait. Yeah. Have to wait for that. Yeah. Hey, so can I just put a call out to anyone like Jonathan that we haven't had on before? that wants to come on and talk about what they're building, please let us know. The more the merrier. And Jonathan, as I've been saying to everyone, what I'm hoping is when the Jurg's Cup officially comes to an end in November, so from November onwards, it'd be great to have some people back and just talk about like a bit more nerdy stuff about our builds and things like that. If you're up for coming back.
Always. I'm always up for talking nerdy stuff.
Great, because I think that it's brilliant meeting new people, but always the first time we meet them, we get like a little intro to them and what they do. But it's a bit more like we're interviewing you than when we're just having a natural talk the second time, when we can get into more open things about just general guitars. So I think when everyone comes back, we could just have some general topics that we all talk about and get like properly deep into it.
Sounds great.
However, we're not around next week, and then we're going to move to Mondays. If everyone's all right with Mondays, I hope the viewers are all right with Mondays. So it'll be the same time, but on Mondays. So we're not doing next Friday. We're doing the Monday after, the 31st of August. And then hopefully we'll just carry on doing Mondays. I'm sure there'll be the odd time when we have to swap it up every now and then. I think that just makes it a bit easier. Well, it makes it easier for me just doing it on Monday. I find...
Who do we have on Monday, Alan?
We got Spike from Sparkle City on Monday.
So if anyone remembers the great guitar build off heyday, the thing that led to the Jurg's Cup, Spike was one of the YouTube channels that I really enjoyed in that period. And we used to have chats about things. I think, we might have chatted in YouTube comments, but I think it was more likely we chatted on Instagram or Facebook. And he always did quite interesting things and was a bit experimental. And he sort of come back into it, having had a moment where his feed all seemed to be about his things he made about golf. Yeah. Which was fascinating because it's another world to me. So I got introduced to another world through Spike. But I'm intrigued to see him.
And after that, we've got no one booked at the moment. Trying to get Mick and everybody back on, so Paul and Corey. So we're sort of booking it a week at a time after speaking to Mick first to see if they're around or not, and then book the next one.
Great, yeah. And Alan, I keep bullying you, but we've got to talk more about your builds.
Well, if I ever finish one,
it's hanging on the wall.
It's getting closer.
Yeah, it's hanging on the wall, so it's a guitar now. It's not just bits.
Well, there's no electrics in it or anything else, so it doesn't count quite yet.
It's nearly there.
Nearly. Getting closer. It's got some stain on this week.
Ooh. I don't remember seeing that. Have you put that up on the Facebook group?
No.
We've
done that in the last couple of days.
Okay. Fantastic.
Because it was bird's eye maple, it wasn't taking stain very well.
Oh yes, of course.
So tight that the stain wouldn't penetrate the wood. So I've had to be doing a bit of experimenting.
And what did you find worked in the end?
Aniline powder.
Oh, that's what you said you were going to use, yeah.
Yeah, with ethanol.
Those ones that I sent you mixed with ethanol, I thought they were brilliant, but it's a shame they didn't work. But you got what you worked, so there you go. Jonathan, what do you use to stain your green?
No, water-based stains from TLC Guitars. It's a shop based in the Netherlands. I used some of the crimson stains before, but since the UK is no longer in Europe, it's been a nightmare to get them. You basically pay as much taxes as I would get for an entire set of water-based stains from the Netherlands. So I sadly had to stop buying them.
Fair enough. Looks cool. You found the one that looks cool. That's easy to get hold of. That's what counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Nitrolax on the mainland as well, isn't it, Daniel?
Yes, they're based in Italy, but they have. I think they distribute from Italy. Actually, I was about to say they distribute from different places, but I think they're from Italy. Cool. All right then. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, Jonathan. It was wonderful to meet you. Look forward to meeting you again when we can have a bit more of a nerdy chat about general guitar stuff. And I I'm very keen. I'm assuming on your Instagram at some point soon, you're going to have a demo of this.
Yeah, I'm gonna, when I have my setup ready, I'm gonna post the demo on Instagram. I'll also post it on the Facebook group, so you can actually hear what it sounds like. It will be a lot of shugging, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I can get with that.
Nice.
I can get with that.
I love it.
Cool. All right, everyone. Have a great week or week and a bit. See you soon. All right, take care.
Thanks. Bye bye.